My name is Ellen Wegner, and this is my educational autobiography, where you will walk with me through my awkward school photos to see how I got to where I am today. My entire educational career took place in Rochester Hills, Michigan, where I began school at Abiding Presence Preschool. Preschool was new and exciting to me. Being the oldest child, I was fairly headstrong and ready to take on school. After 2 years of preschool, I went to University Hills Elementary School. I loved going to school and was excited to see my friends and try new things. I remember always wanting to take the bus to school, even though my school was right down the street from my house. One of my favorite things about elementary school was our buddy system. The younger students were partnered up with an older student who would help us with our projects and do other activities together. I remember always looking up to the older students and wanting to be as smart as them. In elementary school, my favorite teacher was Mrs. Sherry in the fourth grade. She always had a positive attitude and made each of her students feel special when they walked through the classroom doors. Another aspect of elementary school I enjoyed was that lessons almost always included manipulating different things and had a physical aspect to them. Lessons were usually hands-on and involved lots of moving around. I feel like this kept myself and other students engaged and excited to learn. No matter what grade or age range I am teaching, I definitely want to be sure to have a classroom that allows students to be hands-on with what they are learning whenever possible. Next, I went to West Middle School. I was so excited to start the sixth grade because I was going to a new school with new people and new independence. I loved going to different classes each hour and learn every subject every day. But unfortunately, middle school was overall probably my worst educational experience. Like most middle schoolers, I was uncomfortable with myself and endured a lot of bullying. These 3 years really took a blow to my confidence and left me distracted in school. Even though most days I dreaded going to school, my favorite experience in middle school was my 8th grade German class. My teacher was so excited to share his culture with his students and made everyone excited to learn. I attended high school at Rochester High. I remember my first day walking in as a freshman, being nervous and anxious about starting school. I felt like I had no friends going into high school and was afraid it would be difficult to make them. In the end, I had a love-hate relationship with high school. I loved the more challenging classes and more freedom to create a schedule I enjoyed, but I hated the exclusion that I saw every day. Most people in my school had grown up together and been in Rochester their entire lives. Because of this, many of them had close friend groups and did not know much outside of our community. Their everyday actions showed that they were ungrateful for the amazing education we were receiving and the support system we were in. I felt very distant from most of my class because I just felt like I had different priorities than the rest of my peers. My best educational experience took place my senior year. I took AP Calculus, which I can easily say was the most challenging course I've ever taken. Knowing this, I set high standards for myself in the class and faced failure once or twice. This class made me push myself harder academically than I ever had to before, and my teacher was aware of my goals and was so supportive of them. Therefore, he held me accountable to them and did whatever he could to help me reach them. This experience was so exceptional because despite being my hardest class, it was my favorite class, which I feel definitely says a lot. My favorite teacher was my leadership teacher of 4 years, Mrs. Kuzmano. Because I had had her for so long, I had a very close relationship with her. Mrs. Kuzmano took genuine interest in my life inside and outside of school. It was the person I felt safest talking to in school. She knew of my academic and life goals and was always pushing me to accomplish more. Though she was not a teacher for one of my academic classes, she was always willing to help with my English assignments whenever I needed some guidance. Mrs. Kuzmano was my favorite teacher because of the large impact she made on my life throughout my 4 years of high school. On the contrary, I also had my least favorite teacher in high school. My senior year psychology teacher would easily be named my least favorite teacher because she brought too much of her own personal drama and emotion into the classroom. On more than one occasion, she would get upset with the class despite nothing being wrong and throw a tantrum and storm out of the classroom for long periods of time. I felt like this was entirely inappropriate and took away from our learning experience. When she behaved like this, it almost seemed she chose to be a high school teacher because she was stuck in high school herself. From this unfortunate experience, I know that when I am a teacher, it is important to act my age and my role, that no matter what the circumstances are, I must remain professional and respectful to my students. Now I am at college at Central Michigan University. I love life as a college student. I love all the people from different hometowns and backgrounds. I love taking classes about things I am passionate about or curious about. I love having professors who are so knowledgeable in the courses that they teach, and I am so excited to continue my education at CMU. Overall, school has been a roller coaster of emotions for me throughout the years, but when I Look back at my experience, I am thankful for the challenges I grew from, and I think of all the students, teachers, and classes who have changed me as a person. Though my experience was rocky at times, it has led me to where I am today. I think of teaching as being a tour guide. A teacher shows their students all the amazing adventures that they can have and things to try. They provide guidance in new situations, but allow for students to make the experience their own. They must be knowledge in the trips that they are taking students on, but continue to learn and experience with them.